All right, I'm gonna give you 5 gift ideas to get for that loved one of yours who might be into videography. That seems like a really narrow demographic. I guess this video's for my wife. You're welcome.
Welcome to Seymour Mac.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
I want to give you 5 easy gift ideas to get for somebody who might be into videography, filmmaking, even photography. These things kind of blend over. I was originally going to do 5 cheap gift ideas, but when it comes to videography, everything is $1,000, okay? I don't want to say there's nothing cheap, but all the cheap stuff is that. It's cheap stuff. So what I did was I put together just a little list. They're not the cheapest gifts necessarily, but these are easy gifts, and I'm gonna kind of give you a little insight on how to figure out which type of these gifts is gonna work for the person you're looking to get a gift for. And also, I think now is probably a good time to ask you to subscribe to the channel. It helps me out. It makes me feel good when I see a new subscriber. Big shout out to the new subscribers. We're trying to get to 250, which shouldn't be a difficult feat. 250 people, there's 6.5 billion people in the world. I think we can make it happen. All right, so the first gift idea is going to be a lens filter. This is going to be a super duper awesome gift for somebody who has a camera. Anybody who has a camera, they could be taking photography, videography, doesn't matter. So I use, and I'm going to recommend using a K&F concept lens filters. I have one for the Canon 10 to 18 millimeter lens, and that just goes right on, screws onto the front, and you can see that it will change the amount of light that it lets into the lens, right? This one here is a variable ND filter, so it's adjustable. So I would recommend the K&F filters. I have another one for the 18 to 150 millimeter. This is an M mount lens for the M6 Mark II, and it's the same thing, it's just a different size. So how do you know which size to purchase for your loved one? Let me give you a little tip here. What you're gonna wanna do is go find their camera. Don't break it, don't drop it. You're gonna find their camera, you're gonna find their camera lens. It's probably gonna be attached to the camera, but if they have more than one lens, you're just gonna have to take a guess and figure out which one they use most often, or just get one for each lens, okay? What you're gonna wanna do is take the lens cap off. Now I use Canon cameras with Canon lenses, but this is gonna go for any type of lens, any type of camera. This is set up pretty much the same way. On the inside ring, there is some information printed. There is a little circle with a line going through it vertically, and it says 55 millimeters. That means my lens filter for this lens is going to be 55 millimeters. Here's another example, the Nifty 50, okay? The Canon Nifty 50. This is one of those lenses that is actually cheap and is useful and good. On the outside ring here on the front, the same thing. It's got a little circle with a line going through it, 49 millimeters, okay? So all you gotta do is find the camera, take the lens cap off. Sometimes you don't have to take the lens cap off. It might be written on the outside, on the front, but it should almost always be written somewhere on the front of that lens, okay? They are going to appreciate that gift super duper. Now, if my wife is watching this, I already have 2. I don't need any more. So you don't have to buy me one of those. Super duper awesome gift idea number 2, batteries. These are so essential, and you could almost never have enough batteries. You could find aftermarket ones that are very affordable, but batteries are one of those things that, although they all pretty much work, you do kind of get what you pay for when it comes to longevity. The best thing you're gonna get is the proprietary batteries, all right? If they have a Sony camera, you're gonna wanna get the Sony batteries, Canon cameras, the Canon batteries, although there is nothing wrong with kind of getting some cheap aftermarket ones. So how do you know which battery type to get for that loved one? If you get a Sony camera versus a Canon camera, you're gonna have different types of batteries, right? For all these different types of cameras, and even not all Canon cameras are created equal, which I will show you. This battery here is from my T3i, my Canon T3i, which I bought in, I believe, like 2006, okay? So it's a pretty old camera, and you could see that there's like a little pop-up here where the battery connects inside the camera. So this battery will not fit in my M6 Mark II, but all you have to do to figure out what type of battery to get your loved one is find that camera, open up the battery compartment, pop that battery out, and on the battery it's going to tell you something essentially to this effect: battery pack LP-E8. Okay, that's the one for the T3i. The ones that I'm using for my Canon M6 Mark II is an LP-E17. I have used and I am currently using a couple aftermarket batteries, but these ones are also called LP, and it was 2 batteries that came with a double battery charger, so you could charge both of them at the same time. There's no point in having batteries if you can't charge them, and you can't charge them quick and at the same time. The battery I'm using right now is one of these LPs, but I can almost guarantee you at some point this aftermarket battery will fail before the Canon proprietary battery. So it is kind of one of those things, you get what you pay for, but they can never have enough batteries. So I would suggest going out there and getting a couple batteries. Usually find them like in a double pack with a charger. So I think that's going to round up number 2. All right, so gift idea number 3 is going to be memory cards. And just like battery packs, they can never have enough memory cards, so they will be thankful for this. But there are a ton of different types of memory cards out there. They not only need a memory card that can hold a lot of storage. This just died? The fuck? But there are a lot of different types of memory cards out there with different speeds, read and write speeds and class levels. So it could be a lot. The easiest thing for you to do, again, is just go find your camera, pop it open, find a memory card slot, pop that out, just see what type of memory card they have in there. These are the cards that are typically going to be used in most cameras, and then the high-end cameras, they use a completely different type of card, which is much larger. We're not talking about those. So there's a lot of information on there, so you can see I have a couple memory cards here, but let's go over some of the stuff that's on these labels here. So you have the storage capacity, which is important. You need something that's big. Don't go and get them a 16 gigabyte memory card. You know what, they'll appreciate having it, but they're probably never going to use it. To be honest with you, they're going to use the ones that are larger. That way they don't have to keep swapping them out. So you also have on here, you have a write speed. So you could see on the SanDisk, it's 170 megabytes per second. Okay, the big M, the big B, that's megabytes. The big M, the little b, that's megabits. Big difference. That's a small nuance, but it's a big difference. So you could see that even though both of these memory cards are 64 gigabytes, one of them has a write speed of 170 megabytes, that's the SanDisk, and the Lexar has a write speed of 300 megabytes per second. There's a lot of other information on here as well. You could see you have the circle with the 10 in it. That's going to be the speed class. What I would do is just go for class 10. That's the highest class that you can get right now. But those are what you're looking for. So that's what I would aim for. I'm going to put some links in the description below. Just like memory cards, gift number 4 is going to be fantastic. They are never going to tell you that they didn't like it. This is going to be practical. All of the gifts that I'm giving you here, all the ideas I'm giving you here, these are all practical ideas. The batteries, the memory cards, the hard drives, these are all going to be used all the time, okay? They're never gonna tell you, I already got one of those, I don't need it. Here's what I would recommend. You have all different types of hard drives. Here's the skinny, here's the short version of it. What you wanna purchase for your loved one, if you truly love them, just make sure it's an SSD hard drive. There's an HDD hard drive that's a hard disk drive. It uses a mechanical platter of disks, all right? So just think, it needs to go find something, it's gotta spin that disk around and search for it, okay? Listen, that's gonna be old technology. In a few years, we're probably never even gonna freaking use them again. But you wanna aim for an SSD, that's a solid state drive. Basically, it uses little microscopic transistors, zeros and ones, ons and offs. I don't know how it works, but somehow they make it work and it's super duper fast, okay? I'm gonna recommend getting them a portable SSD drive, and the one I'm gonna recommend is this SanDisk Extreme Portable. This is a 1 terabyte drive, and it has a read and write speed of about 1,000 megabits per second. Now, what I like about these are, whether they use a laptop or a desktop, these are going to be super compatible. You'll be able to use these. This is very portable. This is about as big as a driver's license. So what I'm going to start doing is just getting these 1 terabyte or even 2 terabyte portable SSD drives, and that way I could plug them in each year. I'll have one that's like all my projects for the year 2020, and then all my projects for next year, or even just for specific clients. So I would highly recommend an SSD drive. I'll put the link in the description below. You can never have enough of these. The problem is these aren't that cheap. This 1 terabyte, this cost me over $100. Seriously? Batteries. All right, to wrap this up, gift idea number 5 is gonna be a silly one. This isn't a camera part, but I can guarantee you that if your loved one is into photography or videography, they will certainly love this gift. It is this camera lens coffee mug. Now, I just stumbled upon this when I was looking for gift ideas. I was trying to figure out what number 5 could be, and I thought to myself, I would love this. I think it's awesome. So it's a little silly gift, but I thought to round it out, it might be nice. I hope this helps give you some ideas. I hope this gives my wife some ideas. See you next time.